So yesterday I finished recording vocals for another song, which means I only have one more song to go, and I'm quite excited about that because these vocal recordings have been kind of two-sided. On the one hand, I've learned so much during this process because again, I went into it knowing that I wouldn't use any tuning whatsoever. I had to really learn to properly sing the parts. I couldn't get away with kind of getting it right like I did in the past and then tuning it afterwards. No, it really had to be right because that's really what it boils down to. If I sing with good technique, the pitch is no problem. If I'm struggling with technique, that's when the pitch is off. And so again, I have learned so much. You know, the past couple of months of recording vocals have been more helpful and insightful for my technique than the past years of practicing has been. So that's really good. On the flip side though, there's been a couple of sections having to sing a certain melody at a certain pitch with a certain intensity that really confronted me with some things I really need to work on, some weak spots in my technique. And while I'm trying to, of course, keep a patient and calm and kind attitude towards myself, that is easier said than done. Unfortunately, on a mostly unconscious level, this stuff does tend to really get to me, you know, especially when you've been working on a part for a couple of days. There's been two sections in particular, but really many more, but two in particular that stood out in terms of really challenging me. And I didn't want to compromise or water them down. There were parts that really needed that kind of loud, at the top of my lungs kind of attitude. You know, if I would maybe be a little bit more sensible to what my body and everything would be telling me, that would be a range in my voice where it's more natural to change over to a different type of register, sing it a little bit lighter. But for those parts in particular, I just really, like I said, I didn't want to water them down. And of course I did know that I was capable of it in my better moments. You know, otherwise I wouldn't pursue such madness really. So yeah, like I said, it's really been two-sided. On the one hand, I've learned so much. I did find new parts of my voice and consolidate certain parts of my voice, the weaker parts. I found ways to strengthen those parts, to sound better, but I do have to be honest and admit that the struggles at times got to me, you know, on an emotional level. They got to me more than probably would have been healthy or smart. But that's the thing, right? You can try, of course, to manage these feelings, these negative self-thoughts, negative self-talk. You know, like I alluded to in the past, I do practice a lot of mindfulness, which is incredibly useful as it comes to managing these types of thoughts. At the same time, though, the whole thing with these negative self-thoughts is that they're kind of happening at an unconscious level, right? They kind of slip up on you. So as much as I tried to give myself a break, applaud myself for trying really hard, instead of, you know, trying to judge myself on the quality of the results that I was getting, I was really trying to compliment myself on my work ethic, and many times that was quite successful, but not all the time. And so, yeah, it did get to me on a couple of occasions.